I'm trying to create a better me, so hopefully people who are hearing this are taking it the right way can say, I can run a mile. It ain't about running 205 fucking miles, doing 4,000, being in the city. It ain't about all that shit. Shit doesn't matter. I want you to see how fucking far you can go, because we all come from that shit. That's why I have to be so authentic and so real about my own insecurities, my own faults, just being a fucked up person. I'm not the best at anything. I'm not gifted. I'm just trying.
We are back after a long hiatus of life. We're not late, we're right on time, but I am your humble, grateful, gracious, highly favorite host, co-host, Sema'j, aka Oxford Bully, aka Big Sexy without the glasses today. And I'm chilling with my boy Lee.
And my name is Hubert Leon Johnson, aka Alexa Gentleman, aka We Drink Out of Jugs. Back again.
AKA Big Sexy with the glasses.
With the blue lights, you feel me?
Yo. But now that we got all the semantics out the way, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling healthy. Feeling happy. It's ebbs and, what's the word? Ebbs and flows. Shit goes up and down, but keeping it level, I feel good.
You love to see it, you love to hear it. But you brought up something that I love to hear. You said you're happy. A lot of times people chase their happiness forever and still don't even know what that feels like. So what's your happiness feeling like?
I don't even know. It comes and goes. It comes and goes. What my happiness will be next week won't be the same thing it'll be this week. So, I can't really. It comes and goes. Happiness will change with our perspectives. So it'll never be the same, I guess.
That's so weird. How do we make happiness? How do we consistently make our happiness be the same? Like, how can I make happiness be normal, or like this is my normal happy?
For seeing it more than just what's happening, right? See it for like what's going on. All right, I'm here. My hands work, my head work. I feel my tummy, my legs, my people. I can call like. The things that you can't really pay for, the things you can't really trade. You realize how you have those things. I feel like that'll make you feel joyful. Versus, I just feel like happiness comes and goes. You never know what it is. So it's cool to be happy, but joyful is like, that's essential.
So you gotta love yours.
Love yours, because everybody got their own. We ain't supposed to have, don't take this out of context. We ain't supposed to have what everybody else got, right? It's
right.
Like, what do you got? We all try and make a way on this joint. So, what do you have?
I love that.
That's really what's going to be important.
Baby, I'm blessed.
How do you feel? How you feel?
I feel blessed. Like at this point, I done mastered doing the most, working with less. And what that means is my back's against the wall, and somehow I've always dug down and just made it happen. Like, I don't only mean that in a monetary standpoint. I mean even from that bank deposit of emotions, of just like, let's say you're in the middle of an argument and you want to snap. You really want to tell whoever you're arguing with about themselves. But I mastered doing the most, working with less. Like, I don't want to be empathetic. I really don't want to agree with them. I don't want to be the bigger person, but I know it's needed for both of us. Not just for me, I know it's needed for the both of us. So I figure out a way to find that patience, to find that empathy, to find that voice of reasoning, because ultimately
it works.
History has shown I get more from that.
It works.
But yeah, ultimately I feel blessed. There's a lot of new and beginnings. There also has been some trouble and trial. I had death in the family. I had to see family members like distraught, really going through, you know what I mean? Because it's immediate loss. And I never want to say that I'm okay with death or things like that, but I understand that sometimes it's needed, meaning they're in a better place. They're in a place of peace. They're not in pain anymore.
Sorry to hear that, cuz. My condolences.
I appreciate it, but I'm blessed though. I'm still breathing. I'm still able to talk to my niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed, man.
Indeed. Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. The small things. Because we're small, you know. We're small.
Speaking of things, pause, and it definitely isn't small because this is something that we were talking about for a while since we both kind of began this musical journey together. We had a performance.
We did.
So, round of applause for that. Round of applause for us going back home. To anyone who doesn't know, we both played football at Temple University together, and we had blood, sweat, and tears at the nightlife there. The Pub Web. We went back home to Pub Web to a sold-out crowd, and we performed.
It was packed. And we, you know, for what it's worth, I felt like for us to be really unknown artists, you know, in a big picture, I feel like the reception was more than I expected, and you know that made it worth it. Not only made it worth it, but that made it like an experience for me, as I'm sure it was a certain experience for people that was watching. But you know, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to doing that after the season is over. Yeah, it was dope, man. It was dope.
Extremely dope. I want to thank Leon for trusting me, seeing my vision before I could even show it, and allowing us both to do that. But it was a dope night. I had a great time, even before we got on stage. We were able to bring so many people together, meaning our people we played football with, friends, family, as well as bring them with new people they never knew before. And it was a safe night. There wasn't any drama, any troubles. And it was a great night. It was a win for us personally. It was a win for hip hop and music. It was a win for Pub Web and Temple. It was a win for everybody all involved. Shout out to DJ A-Cube.
Love everybody.
DJ A-Cube did his thing.
Big dude.
We got so much to discuss. We have mass shootings in public places, which is not new. But we also have phenomenal works of art. Kendrick Lamar, like shout out to Kendrick Lamar.
Shout out
to Kalani. I love her project. Future came out, but the most important one. Pop It, Don't Stop It from Johnny Franco. Go crazy. Yeah. But actually, probably the most important one. We have a project coming out in June by LX himself.
Honestly, I'm not really thinking about it at all.
Speak It Into Existence came out. So it's all about self-manifestation. And then even for this episode, yours truly, love yours. Love us, I apologize, but you have to love yours because you are yours. Blessed. Which makes the first Sema'j and LX track in a long time.
It does.
LX dropped, but in terms of Sema'j, it's the first Sema'j track. Sema'j cited, you got it a long time, so
since October.
Don't get used to it, because I'm about to go right back on a hiatus, but I had to pop out one time for my guy.
I appreciate you.
Most importantly, we're here, so we can go in order. We can talk about, from an emotional standpoint, you had someone who was in their right mindset. And the reason I say in their right mindset is because he went to a particular person of his race and he told them sorry and proceeded to look for Black people. 10 people were killed up in Buffalo, New York. And it's just scary because we have family, friends who are up in that place. I had a lot of emotions that range from it because once again, it followed the pattern of they were safely escorted into custody.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, yo. I really don't know. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not wishing nobody to be shot. I'm not wishing for police to just unload on people, but from my understanding of like when you show up to a scene, when you told what's happening, you come and you don't know, these are the reasons we're given, but you show up to that and it's like not it's like, so I try not to get into it, you know what I mean? I try not to get into it. I try not to leave my emotions in that part. I think the worst, where the concern should be is how could someone like that kind of flaunt these ideas and these ideologies online and this not been on someone's radar, on one of the alphabet orgs, right? You know what I mean? Like how do you do these things online and then plan this, kind of be like flagrant about it? Like they saying they Pooh Shiesty was booked off of a picture of a dollar bill serial number from his Instagram photo. Like, okay, so if we thinking that deep, like how does somebody like this just kind of flaunt this stuff online and say, but it's like, come on, at some point, like you just incompetent. If you let's throw racism out the door. You're just not competent at your job. We talk about terrorism. Okay, well, that's terrorism.
You are preaching right now.
Prevent it.
Even if we're gonna take race out of it, this is something that's very close and near and dear to our hearts because we are both hip hop, R&B. We're musical artists. They were able for Gunna and Young Thug, and for anyone who's not abreast of that, please Google the indictment against YSL, Young Thug, Gunna. Those are two of the more prominent figures of the association. So that'll kind of help you with that research. But a lot of the indictments that were brought up against them were lyrics, meaning, so you're able to take lyrics that are part of the song,
to hear the song,
and now go ahead and bring an indictment on them. But you also have charges against them from 2015 based upon wiretappings, internet postings, and different investigative research that you're doing.
Some incentive there.
Exactly. So I'm also going to circle back into the idea of a lot of these federal agents are utilizing different software, different tools to track steps, like in terms of the foot traffic that are going in and out of apartments. And they can let you know how many people have went in there, how many haven't. They can go back and look into these different like message boards, and they can see what you're putting on there. So the only thing that's prioritized right now and of importance is if it comes from an African American. So the only people you are scared of in these moments of terrorism and different things, it's not even terrorism. If you come to a black person's car of a traffic stop, they have their hand too subtle on their hip, you're scared. If you go into their house and they grab a wallet to show you their ID, you're scared. But there's someone who you got a phone call for who told you they are shooting in a public space and multiple people are dead. Most people you get to the location and you see them still in the act, and somehow you are comfortable and poised and comfortable enough to say, hey, it is not what you should be doing. Which leads me to a bigger point. If you come to a place, you should have to tell them what the race is of the person who is doing the act. Because in this act, therefore, moving forward, send me someone who looks like me, who's from where I'm from, so that they are not scared. And it's no different than corporate America. We talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. We need people who look like us in these situations. We need people who understand our struggle, because clearly they understand when they're going to someone of the same race as them. So moving forward, I'm not saying you're racist. I'm just saying you're not able to police people outside of your race. And that's like the most political way I could put it.
I mean, who knows? Who knows what works? Who knows? I mean, I mean, who the fuck knows? Like, who the fuck knows? I don't know. You know, it's like we got peers who are cops, right? And we know them personally, right? So it's like, all right, well, that just completely throws out all the cops are bad theory.
Yeah.
That throws that out. So it's like, so it's not all. We know where the patrol comes from, right? But we can't just throw everything on that and say, all right, well, fast forward and it's the exact same, because nothing is the exact same from 10 years ago. Certainly not 400 years ago. But it's like, it's that origin mixed in with like kind of, and you know, we break this down. I actually had this conversation before in Canada, right? That's where I am now. Healthcare is free, right? And when you think about healthcare being free, the country's not profiting off of you coming to the hospital.
Right.
And then when you look at kind of, you know, the American system, they're profiting off of you know, you have a medical insurance. You come into the hospital, America profits off that.
Exactly.
So many people are sick. So many people are depressed. Is that a mistake? So the medical system is kind of set up to work for America. Okay, so when we look at the policing system, it's set up in the same ways, and you can kind of just look at them from afar and say, okay, boom, 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 boom.
Got it.
But there's still the human element. You know, I think
Right.
communication, you know, getting to know people you don't know, because it's a fact. You go into a dark room, you don't know what's in the room, you feel what? Fear. Because you don't know what's there. So when you don't know something, it's a human reaction to fear. So the better we get to know each other, the better we get to know places we're not from. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's like, what the fuck else are we gonna do? Because the hell no, we won't go shit is like, and excuse the way I'm speaking about it, but that goes so far, right? And the just being belligerent, that shit goes so far. So it's like you got to try something else. So there's got to be a level of communication between people who just don't understand each other, so that we could better understand each other, and we don't have to make up excuses while we play defense and offense with each other on some weird shit. It's honestly, I'm at what is it called? Wit's peak with that shit. Like when you go outside though, when you go outside, you walk with a certain energy. You know, I've been getting that energy back. Granted, you find eyeballs everywhere, but you just gotta figure out how to let that bounce off of you. But online, if you look online long enough, you'll feel like the world's on fire. So, you know, that Instagram, that Twitter shit is a I'm having it at a minimum, especially right now. I'm in camp mode, so I'm trying to keep my mind as fresh as I can. So,
no, you're extremely right. The last thing I'll say on this, because I don't want to harp on it too long, is a prime example because you're in Canada. So you go into a room, right? Mm-hmm. You're in Canada. You have somebody who doesn't speak English, he speaks French. You have another O-lineman who, let's say he came from Temple with you, he speaks English, and you understand his background, you understand exactly why he's upset, because you can understand what he's saying to you. Mm-hmm. The French Canadian who's speaking to you in a different language, who's actually acting a little differently in terms of being frantic and being angry, looks a little different than what your anger looks like. You come into the room, you're probably quicker and more inclined to want to hear the person who you understand their background and have that time and rapport with, even if you actually don't know them. But the fact that they have that background, it's easy for me to empathize with them. It's not always easy, it's not always easy for me to empathize with the other person. It's because there is a barrier. There is a physical, not physical, but you know what I'm saying? It kind of is physical, but I don't understand you. There's a physical barrier.
There are culturally, we are different. Like, we can admit that. Like, culturally, there's just different cultures amongst humans. That's true. But we are letting like the tribal nature of our culture become paramount over like the fact that we're all people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, if you know the French culture, you kind of understand your brothers up north, right? It kind of, that's a commonality. So it's like the the more limited in who you know, what type of people you know, kind of makes that boundary so much more, right? So it's like, that's on you to be in tune with your human brothers and sisters, so that you don't have to walk out in the world with this, carrying this baggage of fear and hate with you. It's like, it should just play it out.
I want to pause you right there, bro, because you brought up a great point. So as we move forward, going and playing basketball, doing double dutch, doing these funny videos within the urban community, and then the following week you go and say, hey, I was scared, uncomfortable. That shouldn't be allowed then, because you should be spending your time getting comfortable with their community.
The person who's doing a double dutch video is not shooting the kid, right? So it's like, we looking at the same uniform and we applying different circumstances to it to rationalize what we already think is true. So where I do feel you, I have to want to say, like, these things are separate.
I bring it up only because, not the Buffalo situation, but there was a situation over in Baltimore, Maryland, where the person who was doing the community engagement outreach event was the same one who said he did X, Y, and Z because he was scared. I don't know about you.
Pardon me.
No. You're right, because I didn't set it up that way. But for me, it's like, hey, which one is it? These are the same people you're double dutching with. So how could you be scared with the same people you're?
True.
But hey, that's a different conversation. I just like the dialogue because, hey, until we get to that commonality, obviously we got to keep having these tough conversations and to have better. But I want to definitely move past this.
I think we on a, you know, with the communication broadening through these social apps, that's like, it's like let's see, freshman year, college, Temple, right? We was out of shade, we didn't really know ball, If you play basketball, you know, that got your cardio right. So while you wasn't actually getting better at football, you were doing something that was trending you in the right direction to help you with football. So when you look at Twitter and Instagram, right, even though the communication on it is weird and it's not necessarily conducive of the direction we want to go as becoming common, love us, like the concept behind that, the fact that we are able to communicate on these different levels, expanded levels, is like, it gives us the opportunity to trend in the right direction. Like, we could have conversations and stuff. We could disagree. We could kind of put heads online and shit like that. It's like, this stuff is needed. Like,
Hubert.
Man, I had to go way over here to get that one.
No, but no. You ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, that was a good one. Yo, there's been no one who's actually explained that to us. So as much as even me, you probably go on every day. You see these bots, you see these fake accounts where they're saying different things. But as much as I don't agree with what they're saying, it's like, wait, I have to respect where they're coming from because it's coming from a genuine place.
And they'd be like, yo, if I like, I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. Like, if I was you, I would probably feel like that too.
And they probably do the same thing for us. They probably say, you know what?
You feel me?
I don't feel that way because I've never been that broke. Or I've never been the black guy in the car getting pulled over by the white cop. Or different things like that, you know what I'm saying?
Why would you feel like I'd feel? Like, I don't even expect you to feel like I feel.
Bro, it's crazy though. Cause I ain't lie to you, I realize every day when I'm like driving to work or just drive anywhere. You ever doing a speed limit and see a cop on the side of you and you double check your speedometer and you have no reason to be in fear?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, yo. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like a year ago, rolled past a cop, maybe a cop was behind me, and maybe they was behind me for a minute, and I'm like, damn, I ain't really do nothing. You know how that anxiety hit up, and then they turn it away. And after that flushed away, it's like, I don't like that feeling, bro. Like, I really don't. I hate that feeling. And after that, I was like, yo, I'm riding past them like I ride past a fucking Honda. You feel what I'm saying? It's a habit that I just do the speed limit. I stop at stop signs. I do my thing. I don't play the driving games because my safety number one. I don't give a fuck about cops. But it's like, I ride past them now. It's like, the only way this go left is if you absolutely committed to it. Like, and that's out of my hands anyway. So it's like, I don't even carry the anxiety doesn't come. And
that makes sense, though. I feel it. But I'll say this.
That shit'll get to you, yo. That shit really will get to you.
Oh, I'm glad I've been pulled over because I live in a very affluent neighborhood. As you know where I live at. But there's been times where I'm driving in a car that like, when you have multiple cars, you have your everyday car and you have your luxury car. I'm driving a car that I know for a fact ain't going over a certain speed limit because I didn't fix it. You know what I'm saying? So for a cop to pull over you and say, no, I pulled you over. Nah, I don't. I know I ain't speeding. Like it physically can't do the speed limit of whatever the speed limit was. And they'll say, yeah, you were speeding. No, I couldn't be. I tell them exactly why I couldn't have been speeding. Oh, then it's your tents. Now these tents ain't illegal because they passed the state registration. Oh, well, actually it was X, Y, and Z. When you get to a point where you're getting pulled over by a cop and they have to get to a third point why they pulled you over, it's already apparent why you were pulled over.
Yeah, and I'm not even at this point. I'm not even letting you know that I know that's why you pulled me over. Like I'm really like, was I speeding? I'm sorry. I love to pay a speeding ticket. I love to go to court and sit there for however many hours while you come in there too. Like I'm playing the game. Like I don't got time for it because I really don't like it. Me and you have these conversations. We know what we got set up to do in the world, and like we can't. The same way we won't allow like weirdos from any other sector of life to derail us. They go in the same category. Like I can't. There's a certain level I feel like personally of self-accepted sense of inferiority when someone can establish fear in you, and I'm not subscribing to that. Like I'm not subscribing to that no more. Like those people are human beings, just like everybody else that I'm not afraid of are. So it's like it don't really change my emotions no more, and I'm happy about that because when you look like this, a cop, a badge is traumatizing. So I'm sure we can.
I know everyone doesn't agree with the way we look at it because we are compromising. 30%. Are we selling our soul, or are we selling out? Are we not doing what we're supposed to do, or are we being mature? Are we being a person who rather lose this battle to win the war? And I don't know the answer to it. I really don't.
Because it's like that. I got a culture, and I'm telling you to bend so that our cultures can mesh, right? So I gotta do the same thing. If I'm gonna ask for rights, I need to be willing to accept responsibilities. And if we could do that on both ends, if you could say, all right, boom, this is what I want. Can you give it? Let's do it. This is what you want. I'll give it. That's relationships, right? That's not even like that's primitive shit. Like that's just normal. So it's like we could do that. It's just a lot of social shit that get in the way. You feel me? It's a lot of social shit that get in the way. There's a lot of politics behind the uniform. A lot of uniforms, football uniforms, corporate uniforms. So we starting to see this social shit kind of interfere with the nature, and a lot of people is doing the all natural. They eat in certain ways. They going out in nature. They meditate and they doing yoga.
Sugar, baby.
You feel me? We seeing people more conscious of how they exist. So I think we trending in that direction for real.
I definitely. So I do want to transition right now into a more lighter note, a different gear, more so because we haven't did Friday Flowers in a while, and trust me, we know, and you probably noticed as well. But because we haven't did it, I want to do it internally between Love Us, meaning me and Alex.
Okay. Let's do that.
I want to go back to the performance.
Okay.
There are certain things that I noticed and picked out that I learned from you during that process that I want to kind of incorporate in my everyday life as well as running performances again. Because I will tell you, I did two major performances at this point. There are other performances, but I feel like those would be the only two performances that would be as bad as they were. And they weren't bad performances. Like from an external standpoint, people said we were successful and did well. But I know moving forward what I would want to do. But I'll start off with you. In terms of performing, what are some of the things, or do you want me to start? I don't know how should we do this shit? Or do this, sorry.
Don't matter.
So I'll go first, I'll let you go. One thing I took from the performance from you is that I love the energy you provided. There was a certain level of peace and confidence that when you went into it, it was like you were in a different atmosphere. I was like, yo, I hope that when I perform, I have that level of energy, I have that cadence, and my track sounds like what it sounded like when you heard it in your car, your headphones.
I appreciate you.
So that's one thing I want to say is that from a natural standpoint, I was like, yo, that is dope. That's a superpower. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like,
yeah.
It was like almost like I wasn't your friend or I wasn't on a podcast with you. I didn't know you. And I said, this is dope. Second thing is, I want that level of adaptability. There were certain things, not necessarily with yours, but also with mine, where it was done that day of, where I was just like, you were just like, all right, that's what we're doing, cool, bam. You did it with flying colors, and it was just like amazing.
I appreciate you, cousin.
Third and last thing I'll say is the ability of before and after the show, just be in the moment. I had a lot of fucking fun that day. Just from just being with everybody, you, Reeve, Justin, everybody that was there, the conversations we had, when things didn't feel right, we still maneuvered, adapted. Like, like just being in the moment.
Being back on you know, it looks like a new campus. Like that library wasn't there when we left. I haven't been back in a minute. I mean, all those apartments that was across from there, that's all different. So it was, you know, you called it a homecoming, man, and you got to take drop and call homecoming. It was a homecoming for sure, you know, and
definitely.
I appreciate you.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll let you rock out now.
I think, you know, you got a process, right? And your process exists. It doesn't matter what else is going on. You mesh within what's going on, you maneuver around, but your process is going on as you bump around. So it's like you do what you do to get in line. I do what I do to get in line. I like watching somebody else's process while I'm doing mine. It's just, you know, to get prepared for that. Because a lot of things switched. You know, we thought we was going on a little earlier. We thought this, we thought that. And, you know, it was more people than we expected, for sure.
Way more people.
But just, like you said, being in the moment. Like,
wait,
all right,
elaborate on that though. You said process. I don't even know, if I'm being completely honest, I can't tell you what my process was. So without being too in depth, like, well, what was my process?
All right, it's like you're like a bumblebee in like a rainforest. Like you doing your own thing. That's why I was moving my hand and shit like that. You doing your own thing, but you know you maneuvering through other people's energy. It's a pub, you feel me? So it's like 1,000 other people in there. It's like you gotta, and then everybody, you know, it's a bar, so you know people was under the influence of certain different things, drinks. So it's like you gotta maneuver through people. You gotta get ready amongst your friends.
Yeah.
So you get ready to do something that you want to be your job, your career. And you gotta do that amongst people that you've had weird experiences with, and that brought you close to them. You know what I mean? So it's like to be able to do that. And my thing is more or less, I don't give a fuck about the performance until I'm standing in front of them niggas. You feel me? So I can just do whatever until it's time to be where we need to be at. But you make it work, yo. It was bright to see, and it kind of stamps like, you know, the fact that we made this up in a couple weeks, right? We kind of procrastinated it, and it took a long time, but we came up with this in a couple weeks. So
2 weeks, to be real, 2 weeks.
The continuity is there. So You know, the way we able to do that in music, and with the song that we got, you're gonna hear that thing soon.
What the fuck?
It's like it's just there. Whatever we do, whatever we put our hands on, it got some continuity to it. So
I'll pause you there. The performance took 2 weeks for us to make it happen. The song took 4 days. 3 days. No, 3 days. 3 days.
I was talking about the podcast.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah, like it didn't take. That took a couple weeks. I mean, we dragged it out. No, I wasn't even talking about the show at all when I said that.
Oh, my fault. Yeah.
I was just using it as an example. Like we just, you know, anything really we commit to, we make it work.
Got it. But yeah, so that was your first one. But in terms of the show, was there anything else that like stuck out in terms of
It was, I mean, I had never done anything like that. Like shit, the couple performances I had, they were, I mean, it was like nobody even knew who the fuck I was. You know what I mean? And this was like, I mean, people still didn't know who I was, but it was like, it felt like being a headliner. And you know, my shit's called The Chosen One, and I am the chosen one. So it's like, you gotta have those experiences. So I'm glad I was able to, man. It was.
Crazy part is I remember being at the show. Do I remember being on stage? Yes. I remember certain tracks. I remember how the crowd made me feel. My favorite moment of the show, I don't know if you remember or not, is my pre-stage speech that I gave to everybody backstage upstairs. Like,
yeah, I was downstairs thinking you was right there. That's why when Sal brought the mic, I handed it to you because we was coming back upstairs. So I ain't hear it.
I could have sworn you was. Oh, so was it during I was like giving this whole pregame like any given Sunday speech to everybody before I went downstairs.
I might have caught the tail end of it.
It was crazy because if anybody, I put it this way, if anybody felt offended by anything I said, I truly apologize from the bottom of my heart. But it had nothing to do with you. It had more than me just like getting myself ready to go on stage.
Oh, okay, yes. I know what you mean. Yeah, now I remember.
For the most part, I was definitely giving out love to everybody, but it was more so I was more so me giving myself energy I needed to go out there because very similar to like an MJ or anybody who's played sports, basketball, football, you kind of create narratives in your head to get yourself like clicking. So like me, to click myself, I will start a beef with you and you not knowing it. Meaning that like, I'm gonna take shit personal, but I don't take it personal to a point where I don't like you. It's just more so like, all right, I'm gonna make the most out of different shit. So if you felt offended by anything I said, I apologize from the bottom of my heart, but know that it's all love. And it comes from a genuine place of me just competing with me. Outside of that though, there were people who remember that speech and they still took down quotes and used it to this day. So it was kind of beneficial for a lot of fucking folks, but
what do I know?
What the fuck do I know? But nah, but seriously, performance, the first one of many. We're working on a lot of different things right now, so trust me, you have not seen the last of me and Alex.
Not at all.
But moving forward, there are some things that I want to address. And the one thing I want to address is, people, please love yourself. Do not wait for somebody else to acknowledge what you do before you value what you bring to the table. You have so many gems. You have so much value. You have a purpose. You are blessed. If you're waiting for anybody to justify what you do or to co-sign what it is you do, you're wrong.
Or if you're waiting on somebody to liberate you, if you're waiting on somebody to bring you a miracle, if you're waiting on somebody to bring you a new perspective without some type of experience, Don't listen to me, because I didn't make this shit up. But I don't think it's coming. So, it's life though. We all in anyway. Might as well get some out this drink.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
Also, there are a lot of people doing a lot of phenomenal things, a lot of great things.
Big facts. Shakur Stevenson just got busy in Vegas a couple weeks ago. Or I was in Vegas. He got busy. Undisputed.
Players got contracts. A lot of people are graduating.
A lot of people got paid. Yeah.
Law degrees, MBAs, whatever. Congratulations.
Celebrate yourself.
Love yourself.
Celebrate yourself. You went to the gym 3 times this week consistently. Celebrate yourself. You was at work on time all week. Celebrate yourself.
Be yourself. Celebrate yourself. Congratulate yourself. At the end of the fucking day, love your fucking self.
Love yourself.
You're waiting for other people to love you before you love you. You're wrong.
No.
Like, we want you to love us, but at the end of the day, we love us.
Facts. That's different. That's different.
Like, we want you to love us, but at the end of the day, we love us. So we're not waiting for you to come tell us we're great. We're not waiting for you to follow us. We're not waiting for you to share us, to like us, to quote us, because we love us.
If we wouldn't have never hit record.
Exactly. At the end of the day, we feel like we bring enough value and enough information to the table that we can love ourselves. And at the end of the day, time and history is going to show itself. But at the end of the day, I love me. I love LX. At the end of the day, if you don't love us, you're wrong.
You know what I'm hearing in my head right now? I just want to pop my shit. Please can I pop my shit?
I just want to pop my shit. They get money, but not like this.
Indeed.
So you get love, but not like this. Because I love me way more than you could ever love me.
Indeed. But we still want y'all to love us. Don't let that nigga fool you. We still want y'all to love us. You feel me? I appreciate y'all.
No, we do want you to love us, so please like us, share us, follow us, all that shit. But understand where I'm coming from when I say this.
Self-love is paramount. Self-love is paramount.
If my love for you makes your day more than your love for you makes your day,
let's keep working.
And our DMs are open. At the end of the day, love us. But hey, man.
They ain't that open. My DMs ain't that open. But they're open.
No. Our DMs ain't open, but the Love Us DM is open.
Oh, the Love Us DM is wide open.
That's open for anybody. That's open for you get the gist. But our DMs ain't open, but the Love Us DM is open.
Oh, we haven't done this in a while. So.
Wait, what the fuck do I know? So listen. I'm your boy Sema'j, aka Oxcore Bully, aka Big Sexy without the glasses.
Yes, I'm your boy, LX. Yo, I'm Hubert Leon Johnson / LX the Jet / Tory.
At the end of the day, what the fuck do we do? Be blessed.
I'm trying to create a better me, so hopefully people who are hearing this are taking it the right way, can say, I can run a mile. It ain't about running 205 fucking miles, doing 4,000, being in the city. It ain't about all that shit. Shit doesn't matter. I want you to see how fucking far you can go, because we all come from that shit. That's why I have to be so authentic and so real about my own insecurities, my own faults, just being a fucked up person. I'm not the best at anything. I'm not gifted. I'm just
nigga, I'm blessed. I master doing the most, working with less. Break my bitch hard every day, but still make her wet. $500,000 on a chain, but still I'm in debt. This extendo on my hip is how I flex. Learn a lesson, tell them pick the free the game. License been suspended, but I'm out here swerving lanes. Credit is a joke, but I'm laughing to the bank. I'm an alcoholic, but at least I feel no pain. I swear my life the fucking best. I'm too handsome to be stressed. Damn, I really must confess. God got it bumping. Blessed, blessed. Yeah, my nigga, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Yeah, nigga, blessed. Life put my faith to the test. Turns out, nigga, I'm so fucking
I'm blessed as fuck, achieving my goals. This shit got me stressed as fuck. If sky the limit, let the wheels on the jet lift up. Don't see no one next but us. Can't even get next to us. Spilling they guts for a check. Really niggas shit check they guts. I'm a rest for what? Fourth quarter, I'm the best in clutch. Stephen Curry had to chef shit up. Underrated, I hit overdrive. Fifth quarter, niggas chose a tie, then we go overtime. That's when I go LeBron. Nowadays, everyone know the grind. I grew up with cats who don't know they moms. Seeing my vision with open minds. So me getting to it ain't no surprise. It ain't no surprise that I'm blessed. I master doing the most, working with less. Me and my niggas get right if this shit go left. Watch when I touch that M, cause the school got F's. But I don't give a F, nigga, I'm blessed.